Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning, Sean. How you doing today?
Doing well. Choppy, how are you?
How are you?
Yeah, there's that RJ. Is he there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm drinking my black coffee right now.
So am I. Here we go.
Yeah, buddy.
We're in a good mood. We're in a good mood again. So thank you for that right off the bat.
You're welcome. Let's keep it going.
All right, random question of the interview right off the jump. Belichick was messing with reporters, saying he's not a physician, he's not a doctor, talking about Mac Jones. Your coaching career, if you had another profession, you have the most knowledge that would lead you to being a doctor, a lawyer, or a therapist dealing with all the people that you deal with in the organization?
Well, I think really for any NFL head coach, for as much time as you spend with the medical staff, I think all the stuff to get your medical degrees to sleep at the Holiday Inn for a night and probably push you across the line there. But I would probably say a therapist, because I just think you're able to be involved in your experience with so many individuals in both in their personal and professional life. I think it's only natural that you have a high level of experience that you could probably help. But I would not say that. You got to respect the education component in all those professions. That is obviously why people that do that are held in very high regard.
But when you're at home, right, and one of the kids, that's a twisted ankle, that's 2 to 4. That's a that's a hammy, that's a quad. I mean, you can just diagnose it just like that, right?
Yeah, just start with ice and stem, and then we'll work our way to heat, and then just tape it up and go, right?
Yes, Coach. You don't have to tell us. We haven't heard any lately, but the motivational tactics. Did you pull anything out of the hat over these past few weeks when many just ended your season, when Dak went down, and you've showed the way that you've responded with the resiliency with Cooper Rush at quarterback and others? Did you pull any McCarthy tricks out of the bag for motivation?
No. I would say no. I think the biggest thing is, you have your chance through your off season to come together and see what you really have, and you work towards. Everybody's working towards the same goal. But really, coming out of training camp, we felt that we had a lot of depth, and there's going to be challenges along the way. We obviously saw a bunch of them in week one with the injuries that we had. We had a big slate of injuries, and I think our team has just really done an excellent job of just staying on course and understanding that these storms of an NFL season, they're there. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when and how many.
Yeah.
And and we've been able to take that approach the last 2 weeks, and more importantly, what I liked as the head coach is from week 2 to week 3 we definitely improved, and we're going to have to improve again this week, because these division games are always rough and tough, and usually come down to into the late in the fourth quarter. So that's what we're preparing for.
What have you seen from the Commanders in your scouting?
Well, I tell you, I think just like anything, watching their game, Sunday live, and then watching it again, on the coach's tape, you can't just get caught up in the score, the box score, and so forth. So I mean, this team has some tremendous strengths. Obviously, their personnel, they have experienced personnel. I definitely like some of their young guys, particularly Dotson, the receiver that they added, the young man from Penn State. Mm-hmm. So this is a well-rounded football team, both offensively and defensively.
Mike McCarthy joined us here on 105.3 The Fan. Michael Gallup, how do you deal with because he has said he's been cleared, but there's a mental aspect of getting over the mental hurdle, obviously returning from the injury. You take us through the process for how you deal with a player who's been cleared but still can't play.
Well, in my mind, he hasn't been cleared, because I think like anything, every player goes through it coming off an injury, and that's why it's important to understand the need for and wants of a timeline, but physically, mentally, emotionally, these men go through a lot in their preparation to be prepared to play one game. And obviously Michael's situation, coming off of a season-ending injury, he has to make sure that he's ready in all three all three areas. So I think it's just really a matter of totally completing, his rehab. And so, I mean, yeah, physically is one thing, but, the emotional and the mental is definitely part of it. So I thought it was good to get out yesterday and, get some full speed live action for him. And, he looked good, and, hopefully he comes in here today and, he's continued to respond, with the treatment and so forth. But I personally look at it it's a normal process. I just think maybe the detail in the timeline and the why he wasn't quite ready has just been available to the public. But he's, when they're totally ready in all three quadrants, then, well, not quadrants, in all three areas.
That would be 4.
Thank you. Thank you for the
Would be.
on live radio. But
we'll get that math degree back from you.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm definitely not a doctor now. So I just think this is a normal process.
All right, Coach, let me ask my, one of many dumb football questions of the morning. Turpin looks like one's about to break. It just feels like it's going to happen. So if you're looking for a deep threat with Gallup being unavailable in the past few games, how do you view Turpin as a receiver, and why not just put him out there and go run 4, 5, 9 routes, go fly, whatever you want to call it? Is his size a detriment in doing that, even though it looks like he's just got lethal speed as a threat anytime he touches it?
I think that's, those are all good thoughts.
Thank you.
But I think, the biggest thing is I think you got to look at, Terp's arrival, in training camp. So I think he's improving each week, with his wide receiver responsibilities and opportunities. So, I think as time has gone on, I personally definitely don't look at him as just a returner. So I think he's done some really good things at the wide receiver position, and but how the game, you put together a game plan with all those kind of possibilities, but how the games unfolds is really is the way it shakes out. But I think your thoughts are all excellent.
Oh,
Can't believe I said that.
Let me pop up the collar of my sweatshirt. Feeling good about myself right here.
Well, maybe we should just stop right here then.
No, Coach.
I get so much more to get.
Come on, we're so happy and thrilled with you every single week. Someone who was much maligned, we may have been wrong about it at training camp, was the kicking situation. And Brett Maher, I know it's the kicking game. It's not the sexiest thing, but I think we need to give credit. What can you say about the job that he has done, considering the different moves that you guys made during camp and the way he started his season?
I'll tell you, obviously I know Brett was here before, but this is my first time to work with him, and I had a chance to watch him work out last year. He was involved in a workout, and then obviously when he came back this year, the talent is, impressive. Just his ball strike has been outstanding, but I just love his level of confidence right now. And I think it's, a huge credit to him but also to the battery, Brian and Jake and John Fossil and Stu. I just think that, the way those 5 guys work intimately together, the confidence that Brett exudes right now, it's impressive, and you just need to continue to build off it, but he's off to an excellent season.
Coach, how does your Jason Peters plan evolve after what we think is an excellent debut against the Giants? How do you guys move it forward now?
Well, we're just trying to get Jason more reps. I mean, it's not that he, needs to know how to, we all understand his level of experience and the level that he's played in this league a long time, but it's, it's just the connection, the communication, being in sync, with the guys, playing next to him, and obviously his ability to play multiple positions is so impressive, especially at his age. I can't get over how great his feet are, still at his age. So we just continue to work him in there.
How are you feeling about Schultz and Tank playing on Sunday?
They both practiced well yesterday. They both took their full slate of reps. So hopefully today is our chance to go through a bunch of meetings in a mock game, and then we have the state program there from 12:30 to almost 2:00. So I usually have a pretty good idea by the end of today where guys are.
And sorry, I should have said DeMarcus, not Tank.
A Tank, yeah, right.
No, I got it. No, you two taught me that.
Yes,
my first year. Like, who's Tank? I didn't have all the nicknames down.
No, now you do. Now you got them all.
Tank, absolutely.
Yeah, why not, Coach? I'm sure you saw what happened last night with Tua, and obviously 4 days ago, he had another injury in the game against the Bills. What is the protocol when a head injury happens like that? Is obviously the NFL has a role in this? Take us through the protocol on the sidelines there and the decision to let a player return?
I'll say this. I think the protocols that are in place now are, obviously tremendously better than they were, 5, 6, 7 years ago. So, but the medical staff and all the information that goes into that, you just got to really trust your medical people there. I saw the aftermath of it. I had the game on, but I wasn't watching it live when it happened. So and hey, trust me, there's never a moment when one of the players goes down in the game. Even in our Monday night game there at the end, even if it's a player from another team. Those are tough moments, and from my personal experience, and I've unfortunately stood over some neck injuries where the medical staff, especially at that moment, the work that they do is so important. So I don't know exactly the specifics of how it all went down last night, but I would trust the process. I don't think anybody's trying to put a player in further risk, especially in the time of an injury and so forth. But I think the medical people have definitely are playing it high in caution compared to years ago, and I think it's definitely better for our athletes and our players.
I know the players wore these things during training camp. Do you see a time where they actually wear those guardian caps during the game, or something similar to it?
That's an excellent question. I think that. It's called a filibuster right here. But no, I think just like anything that the league tries, there's always the research development phase you go through. I think the fact that we wore them in training camp, and I'm sure at some point that the data will be evaluated and see how it goes forward. So it's just like anything in professional sports, no different in our game. Changes sometimes take a little time, as far as equipment and roles and so forth. But I can honestly say, just in my time as a head coach, the league is so much safer, and the game of football is a lot safer than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Coach, last one, and this may sound crazy asking a football coach, but did you have serious discussions in your household about your kids playing football at any point?
I wouldn't say they were serious. I did, both boys played, and but the only discussion we ever really had was just to make sure that they were in good equipment, and we definitely made sure they were in good helmets, and they played in really good programs. I think that's probably the biggest focus for me personally. They're very fortunate to their grade school and their high school that they had coaches, but they were good teachers. They were taught the fundamentals the right way, and then they got to grow up around the game some too. So have that experience. But I think it's just it's like a lot of things. Is just safety is really learning the fundamentals and the techniques properly, and making sure that the program and the coaching that they're involved with is not putting them in extra harm's way.
Coach, thank you for delivering Friday Gold as always, and for the filibuster compliments. We appreciate it, and good luck on Sunday, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen. You guys have a great weekend.